in this last module, we're going to look at the last part of the story, where he talks about twin obligation and his definition of freedom and how freedom has changed him. Now he talks about twin obligation. He says every man has twin obligation. One is towards his family and one is towards his society and his country. If a person tries to fulfill his duties to the country, he is ripped off from his family. And if he tries to fulfill the duty to his family, he is ripped off from his country. This happens in a country like South Africa, where there is discrimination, where there is racism. In a normal country, it must never happen. That's what he means by the twin obligation. Then we look at the permanent and transitory freedom. Now, transitory means temporary. In his boyhood, in his childhood, Mandela enjoyed all the freedom. He was free to run in the fields near his mother's hut, or to swim in the clear stream that ran down his village. He just had the sense of freedom. But there is a limit, okay? There is a Lakshman Rekha there also. And that is that he must obey his parents and abide by the custom of the tribe he was in. That is the only restriction. Until then, he had all the freedom. Gradually, he learned that this is just an illusion. It is just an imagination. No, this is just a transitory freedom. It's not permanent. Then he talks about certain basic honorable freedom, such as achieving his potential or earning his living, and of marrying and having a family. Now he's building a contrast between these two freedoms. Okay, and he's talking about the transitory freedom and the permanent freedom, and he's contrasting them. He's telling that the transitory freedom is just temporary. You just need it till the boyhood. But after you become an adolescent or after you become a youth, your point of freedom changes. You want a more comprehensive freedom. Now, comprehensive is that it includes all the aspects of freedom, not just one particular aspect, but it includes all the aspects of freedom, all the ins and the outs of the freedom. Now, he's creating that contrasting idea. Then he slowly observed that it was not just his freedom that was curtailed. It was not just his freedom that was snatched off, but the freedom of everyone who looked like him. And who were those who looked like him? Blacks. Looking at this, he joined the African National Congress. His longing for freedom for himself and for others animated his life, changed his life. It changed all aspects of his life. He was a law-abiding person. Now he became a criminal. He was a frightened young man. Now he became bold. He was a life-loving person. Now he became a monk. He had a home and a beautiful family. Now he became homeless. To him, freedom now became comprehensive and it cannot be divided. In the final part of that chapter, in the final paragraph, he talks beautifully about the oppressor and the oppressed. And he tells that the oppressor and the oppressed are both likely robbed of their humanity. Oppressor must be freed from his prisoner. Now, who's the oppressor? The oppressor is the one who is oppressing. In this case, it's supposed to be the whites. So the whites must be freed from the prison of hatred and narrow-mindedness. He is behind the bars of hatred. Hatred has made him numb. When you put an ice in your hand, your hands get numb, right? You're not able to feel anything. That's the same thing with them. They have become so numb in hatred that they don't feel anything, and they must be out of that prison. And the oppressed, that is the blacks, they must be freed from the prison of the bondage of longing for freedom. They long for freedom and they must be freed from that prison. And in this way, he's contrasting the two ideas. Now, hope you have understood the chapter. In the next and the final module, we'll have a very fun activity, but I want you guys to honestly do it. Okay, do not go somewhere outside in the internet and check it out. If you honestly do it, it's gonna be real fun. So do your best, and thank you so much.